Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. I'm Noah, and today I'm here with Darbos, Faraz, David, and Lachlan. We'll head straight into this with the big ins and outs of round 11. We'll start with the big ins. Whiten comes back from suspension for the Raiders, and I'm really looking forward to watching this young fullback play. Lachlan Miller, he was signed by the Sharks from the the Australian Sevens team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes. And the big outs for this round, the Storm lose Nelson Asafa-Solomona. The Tigers lose Luke Brooks. The Chooks lose Victor Radley. And the Sharks lose Dale Finucane. Some big losses there. And we'll head into the tips for this round, starting with the first game on Thursday night. Knights versus Broncos. We'll first go to Davos. What are your tips for this game? I would like your tip, your margin, and your anytime try scorer.
Yep, I've got the Broncos winning 13 plus, and I've got Selwyn Cobbo as my anytime try scorer.
That's a safe pick. Selwyn Cobbo, he's found some try scoring form. We'll go to Faraz next.
Yeah, look, based on the form, you can't go past the Broncos. I'm going to go the Broncos 13 plus, even though it'll be tight first half. Stags first try score, and Cobbo anytime.
Very good picks there. We'll go to Lachlan.
Broncos 13 plus, and I've got Kurt Capel on the back row to marge over the line.
He was one of my first picks as well for that. And lastly, we'll go to David.
I've got the Broncos 1-12, and I picked Herbie Farnworth as my anytime try scorer.
Good pick. I've gone the Broncos 13 plus, and I've got Tamari Martin to score his first try for the Broncos. We'll go straight to the next game, Tigers versus Bulldogs, a first game on Friday night. Obviously the big news earlier this week, which we covered in episode 4, I think it was. Trent Barrett left the Bulldogs, but I don't really buy into that. So I want your tips, your margin, your anytime try scorer. This time we'll start with David.
I've picked the Tigers 1-12, and I've picked Burton as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. We'll go to Lachlan.
So I've got Tigers 13 plus. I'm hearing news coming out of the Bulldogs that there's the flu going through, and Addo-Carr and Burton are in doubt for Friday night's game. And I've got Luciano Leilua to score for the Tigers.
Good picks. We'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go the Tigers 1-12, depending on which plays are out. If Burton and Addo-Carr out, I'm going to go Tigers 13 plus, but I'm going to go the Tigers 1-12. And anytime try scorer, Josh Addo-Carr.
Good picks, and we'll go to Davos.
Yep, I've got the Tigers 13 plus, and I've got David Norfoluma as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. I've got the Tigers 1-12, 13 plus. If Josh Addo-Carr and Burton are out, and some others there, and I've got Jackson Hastings anytime try scorer. And the next game, the big blockbuster on Friday night, Eels versus Seagulls. This could be a good game. It could be very high scoring. Could be a blowout score. We'll go to Davos first this time.
Yep, this will be a very, very good contest. I've got the Eels 1-12, and I have got Tom Trbojevic as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. We'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, look, this could be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go the Eels 13 plus. I think they'll have too much class on the day. I'm going to go Dylan Brown anytime try scorer.
Good picks. We'll go to Lachlan.
Yeah, considering Manly last Friday, I've got to go the Eels 13 plus, and I've got the Guffarino at fullback to go over the line.
And we'll go to David.
I've picked Parramatta 13 plus, and I've got the big bopper RCG, Regan Campbell-Gillard, to go over for a try.
Good picks. I've gone Eels 13 plus as well, and I've got Mitchell Moses to score a try, a freakish try last week against the Roosters. I was lucky enough to watch that live. But we'll head to the next game, the Dragons versus Warriors game. I have a feeling this could be really close. We'll go to David first.
Yeah, I've picked St. George 1-12. As you said, it will be close. I do agree. And I've got Jack Bird at lock going in for a try.
Good picks. We'll go to Lachlan.
Yeah, this game's a flip of the coin. Who knows who's going to win this one? But I've gone the Warriors 1-12, and I've got Reece Walsh for anytime try scorer.
And we'll go to Faraz next.
Yeah, based off home ground advantage, can't separate these two sides, but I'm going to go the Dragons. It's at Cogra. I'm going to go Jack Bird for anytime try score and also chuck in Ben Hunt try at the end.
Good picks. And we'll go to Davos.
Yep, I've gone the Dragons 1-12 in a close one, and I've got Mika Ravalawa as my anytime try scorer. He likes to play against the Warriors, so I've got him.
Very good picks. I think the Dragons will struggle after their loss against the Titans. I think they'll mess with their heads a little bit. I've gone Warriors 1-12, and I've gone Ben Hunt, anytime try scorer. Moving on to Cowboys versus Storm. Could be game of the round, honestly, if it's a close scoring match. We'll go to Davos first.
Yep. I've got Storm 1-12, but could go either way. And I've got Jeremiah Nanai from the Cowboys as my anytime try scorer.
We'll go to Faraz next.
Yeah, look, I definitely think the Cowboys are capable of causing an upset, but I'm going to go the Storm just because Hughes is back. I'm going to go the Storm by 8 and Nick Meaney anytime try scorer.
Good picks. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw a wild call out there. I'm going the Storm to lose back-to-back games. I've gone Cowboys 13 plus to smoke the Storm at home, and I've got Valentine Holmes for 2 or more tries.
And we'll go to David.
Well, I'm going to go the other way. I reckon Melbourne are going to bounce back in a big way. 13 plus Melbourne and Coast Flames on try scorer.
Yeah, with the return of Jerome Hughes, I can see it being close. I'm actually going to go Cowboys 1-12, and I've got Valentine Holmes as anytime try scorer. We'll move on to the last game of Super Saturday, Roosters versus Panthers. This could also be game of the round, depending on the scoreline. We'll go to David first this time.
Yeah, I've picked Penrith 1-12, close once again, and I've got Taylor May as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. We'll go to Lachlan.
I've got Panthers 1-12. I think they're just too classy still. And I've got Brian Toto to score a try.
Very good picks. We'll go to Faraz next.
I have a scary odd about this game, but I'm still going to tip the Panthers 1-12. I'm going to go Taylor May for a double.
And what about you, Davos?
Yep, I've got Panthers 1-12, and I've got Isaac Tago as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. I'll be the one and only here with Panthers 13 plus. I reckon I'm convinced from what I saw from the Roosters that they are a top 8 team this year, but I still think the Panthers have what it takes to put a big number on them. And I've gone Isaac Tago anytime try scorer. I reckon he'll find the line during that game. Moving on to the second last game of round 11, Rabbitohs versus Raiders. We'll go to Davos first this time.
Yeah, we'll go either way. I've got the Bunnies 1-12, and I've got Cody Walker as my anytime try scorer.
That's a good pick for us.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go for an upset here. I genuinely think the Raiders can do this. I wasn't convinced by South last week. I'm going to go the Raiders 13 plus. I'm going to go Jordan Rapiner for a try, and I think Alex Johnson will score first.
Those are good picks. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, I've got the same as Faraz. I think the Raiders last week just showed their class, and the Rabbits' second half against the Warriors was just absolutely dismal. They let 20 or 30 points in. So I've gone Raiders 1-12, and I've got Sebastian Chris in the centers to score anytime.
And we'll go to David.
Yeah, I've gone with the Rabbitohs here. I do think the Raiders have what it takes to upset them, but I've picked Rabbitohs 1-12, and I've got Blake Taff as my anytime try scorer.
All good picks. I've gone the Raiders 1-12, just like Lachlan and Faraz. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Rabbitohs are leading at halftime in this game. And I've gone Alex Johnston, anytime try scorer. Moving on to the last game, Titans versus Sharks. Now, I mean, this could be a bounce back game for the Sharks, or it could be 2 in a row for Titans. This time we'll go to David first.
Yeah, I've picked Cronulla 13 plus, I reckon, and Nico Hines is my anytime try scorer at halfback.
Good picks. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, I've got the Sharks 13 plus as well. I just think Nico Hines back at halfback. He's just showed the class there this year. I think the Spines what they need, and I've got Brenton Nakora anytime try scorer from the back row.
Good picks for us.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go the Sharks 1-12. I think the Tigers will make a game out of this, but I think the Sharks win this. Hines for anytime try scorer.
Good picks. And Davos.
I've gone the Sharks 13 plus, and I've got Talakai as my anytime try scorer.
Good picks. I've gone the Sharks 13 plus as well. And I've got Lachlan Miller, the kid on debut. Probably not a kid, but yeah, I've got him to score a try at fullback. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. We'll quickly go into, before we head into the news, we'll go into a segment, overrated or overhated. This week, Jerome Luai is the person I've chosen for you boys to explain if he's overrated or overhated. We'll start with Davos.
Could go either way, actually. Don't get me wrong, Luai's a quality player, but I think he's overrated. I think that one of the main reasons why he's good is because Cleary steers the team around. Look, you could say that for any halfback in 5'8", but I think without Cleary, you can clearly see that Luai struggles. So I'm going to go overrated.
And we'll go to Faraz.
Look, I personally believe this can go either way, just like Dave was explained. But yeah, look, Jerome Luai, it's like sort of like the Cody Walker situation. You can clearly see how much Cody Walker misses Reynolds. He misses that structured halfback around him. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Davis. I think Luai is overrated. You can definitely see how the Panthers struggled without Nathan Cleary last year, and you can see how Luai looked flunky in attack, and he had no answers. He looked short and rolled. So yeah, I'm going to go overrated. But he definitely can be hated too much at times. Still a quality player.
Definitely. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, this one doesn't go both ways. Luai is the definition of overrated. Did he play Origin last year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, with Cleary.
Yeah, that's why, because I didn't see him once. He absolutely gets carried every week by Nathan Cleary. He shows up when he needs to, but he's not there in the big moments. Cleary steers Penrith around. If he goes to Titans or anything, then he'll be the sign of the show because, of course, it's Luai. He wants to be the show pony. But, yeah, he's overrated. I don't like the bloke.
And we'll go to David.
Yeah, I can see the argument for both, obviously. I really can't choose. Like, I can see the argument for overhated because he does get a fair bit of stick from rival fans and sometimes even his own. But as I said, and as the boys have said, I do think that he does look lost without Cleary in the halfback position. We saw that a lot last year where Burton took his place due to injury and Origin. And same at the start of this year, once again. Don't get me wrong, he's a quality player, but I can see the argument for both. So maybe slightly overrated, slightly.
Same as you boys, well, except for Lachlan. I can see the argument for both cases here. However, I think he's a bit overrated. I mean, without like you've all said, without Cleary, he's lost. And I don't know why they move him into the halfback jersey when Cleary was injured last year. Didn't do them any favors. They didn't win many games with him at halfback. But yeah, I've gone overrated. He is overhated at times, but yeah, a bit overrated. And I'll pass it to Lachlan next to lead the news segment and the questions.
Cheers for that. So today it's come out, the King of Melbourne, you could so call him. He's changed the club from head to toe. Craig Bellamy is activated for 2023 to still be the head coach of Melbourne, but his contract is still there until 2026, which from 2023 onwards, he's still able to sign in other roles at the club. But for 2023, he will be the Melbourne Storm head coach. We'll just get the thoughts quickly from the boys on this. We'll start with Davos.
Yeah, I mean, very good to see Coach Bellamy commit to us. I mean, what a coach. He's done so much for the club, and I think it's well-deserved. And my big call is that Munster will re-sign due to the fact that Bellamy has re-signed.
Big call. I mean, having Bellamy there, it's quite an honour. You don't really get that kind of coach anywhere else apart from if you go to Dolphins or the Roosters. But yeah, it's interesting with Munster contract, but we'll see what happens. We'll go to Noah now on his thoughts of Bellamy staying at Melbourne next year.
I mean, in my opinion, he's the best coach in the game. I mean, you could argue Wayne Bennett has had a better coaching career because he's been around longer, but Bellamy, he's always consistently in the top four with the Storm, and great re-signing from the Storm. And I think once he's done I reckon I could only really see him staying a head coach maybe until the end of 2024. I reckon once he's done, I reckon Billy Slater will pick up Storm head coach position if he does well in Origin, of course. But yeah, great re-signing. Excited to see how the Storm go in 2023.
I'm calling it 2026 when his contract ends. He will either be head coach or assistant coach of the Dolphins. That's my call. I think that if him and Bennett can get a duo going at the Dolphins, if Bennett's still there, I know he's getting on now, but Bellamy will definitely be shopped around, that's for sure. And I think he might go around one more time. But we'll go to David now and his thoughts of Bellamy contract extension.
Yeah, obviously, he's been such a big part of Melbourne's success over the course of his career and over the course of Melbourne's franchise. You know, he's won premierships. He's made players from nothing to, you know, stars of our game, legends. And yeah, I think overall, obviously, no brainer, brilliant re-signing for the club for the next year.
Yeah, and you can even see this year, Nick Meaney comes from the Bulldogs and he was a shining light, but he really didn't get to shine as much as he did this year. And Bellamy's turning him into an absolute star. We'll go to Faraz now on his thoughts on the Bellamy contract extension.
Yeah, look, wonderful news for the Melbourne Storm. Like, this guy is arguably the best NRL coach we have. You could say Wayne Bennett or Trent Robinson, but there's no doubt what Bellamy has done for the Storm has been nothing short of remarkable. Like, the success he's brought to them, the finals appearance he's made, like, working under Craig Bellamy can't be underestimated. The players he's brought to the system, like Xavier Coates, Nick Meaney, look at what clubs they were at. They were at the Bulldogs and Broncos, who were respectively struggling. And look what they've got to make up Nick Meaney this season. Xavier Coates struggling in defense, fixes that ASAP overnight because you've got someone like Craig Bellamy at their home. And he's got such high standards. And, you know, just wonderful news. You know, just like can't wait to see more of Bellyache at the club. But, you know, good news for Melbourne Storm fans.
100%. And we'll move on to the next one. It's come out today. I don't know how reliable this is, but the Sydney Roosters have called for a meeting with Selwyn Cobbo's managers, like team, but we don't know how reliable that is. But we'll go to Faraz again on his thoughts. Do you think Cobbo goes to the Chooks, or do you think that he's a Bronco for life?
We'll have to see. We have to wait and see. But in my opinion, I think Cobbo will stay at the Broncos. And I've reportedly heard from some Brisbane reporters, especially Dubbo, that Cobbo's agreeing to a 2-year extension at the Broncos till 2025. His original contract is till 2023, I think. Yeah, I think that the Roosters, look, you know, Cobbo is easily one of the best young kids we have in the comp, and there's no shock why someone like the Roosters are going after him. But like, I generally can't see him going anywhere else at the moment. I think he'll stay at the Broncos. He's loving his footy. They're getting some success. He loves playing under Adam Reynolds. He loves his teammates there. I think he's going to stay at Bronco, at least at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. And just to add, I call absolute BS on these reports because they've come out saying that they don't have enough salary cap for Angus Crichton to stay. So where they're going to find salary cap to sign Cobbo. Also, I don't know where Cobbo fits in their back line because their back five basically is all locks. Like you can't move them on. So I call BS on this report, but I guess we'll see and find out, see if the reports get shut down. We'll go to Noah now. Do you think that these rumours are true? And do you think that he would ever go to the Roosters?
I'm going to keep it really quick. I reckon he re-signs with the Broncos or he goes to the Dolphins. I reckon he stays in Queensland, I think, and I don't see him going to the Roosters, especially because I don't think the Roosters have the salary cap to re-sign him. Yet again, they've done it before, the old salary sombrero, so I guess we'll see, but I reckon he stays at Brisbane.
Yeah, 100%. David, what do you think of this?
Yeah, look, Brisbane have another great winger on their hands. Obviously, they had Coates last year, and he made me look like a bit of a dickhead, not gonna lie, because I did say he was going to stay, and then he did say he was going to stay as well, but he ends up signing with Melbourne, which started this year. So yeah, I think that Brisbane will keep him, and I hope he does stay. But yeah, not much I can say. I do agree with you though, Lachlan. I do think, yeah, not Melbourne. The Roosters have struggled with the salary cap, so I'm not 100% sure how they find the space for him. But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, exactly right. And then we'll go to Davos lastly on this one.
I don't believe these reports at all. I think Cobbo will stay at the Broncos for life. I mean, he's a Queenslander. Why would he leave? And I think he's going to develop into one of the best players in the game. So I think he stays.
Yep. Understand. And we'll go to the next one. We'll keep this one answer. Fodawaker not getting an origin call. Do you think it's fair or unfair? We'll start with Davos. What your thoughts on this one is? Do you think it's fair that Slater hasn't given him a call, or do you think it's unfair with his season so far?
I think it's very unfair. I mean, the bloke was probably one of our best players last year in Origin, and not only at Origin level but at club level, he's outstanding. I mean, he's constantly doing dirty work for the Titans, and can play big minutes and provide impact off the bench and starting. So I think it's a little harsh. Personally, I'd have him like 17 for game one, but I think it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I think it's fair and unfair because we know how good the Queenslands actually have forwards this year. So it's going to be hard to fit him in. But we'll go to David next. What do you think? Fair or unfair on Fodawaker not getting an origin call?
Unfair, just due to the fact that I thought he was brilliant last year for Queensland, and at club level as well, he's a silent achiever, playing in that front row role. But yeah, I do think overall he should be in the 17.
Yeah, I think it's going to lean towards unfair. We'll go to Noah next on this one.
Yeah, I think fair and unfair for each for their own reason. But I reckon with the amount of forwards, quality forwards Queensland has this year, I think it's fair that he didn't get an origin call up. I mean, but he should be in the squad at least.
Yeah. And Faraz, fair or unfair on Fodawaker?
Yeah, look, mate, definitely unfair, especially last year. What a horrific series it was for the Queenslanders. And I think in that series, Fodawaker was one of our shining lights, and he was easily one of our best. He's been killing it for the Titans, especially this season. So I think it is definitely unfair. But you got to look at that Origin team, like compared to last year. Queensland were handing out any Origin like jerseys to anyone, but like this year they've got so much depth, they've got so much forwards to look at off the bench and on as well. So like, it is a tough call for Billy Slater to make. But for me personally, he's in my team, so I think it's unfair. But there's a lot of options this year, so it makes it even harder. There'll be some unlucky ones missing out.
They sure were handing out Origin jerseys because Thomas Flegler got one. Still baffles me. We'll go. We'll go.
Just keep going.
We'll go
Keep it in.
Next one. We'll go on to the next one. It's coming out. Michael Potter is the interim coach of Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Do you guys see him being the long-term coach, or do you think just for now he's just filling in the role? We'll start with Noah.
I reckon he's just keeping the role for now. I don't really see him as a long-term option. Yet again, I haven't seen much of Potter, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I think Shane Flanagan has to be their long-term choice at the moment.
Yeah, I think the race is between Flanagan and Paul Green. We'll go on to David next. Do you think Michael Potter is the interim coach for now, or do you think he's long-term?
Well, to be honest, I don't even know this bloke could coach the game in his life. So, yeah, I don't think he'll be there long. I just think he'll be filling the role for the rest of the year. And I do think they do pick up either Flanagan or Green, as you said, next year.
Yeah, well, I heard today Anthony Mundine has entered interest. I think that he needs to start at. I think he needs to start at under 12s and work his way up. But we won't get into that. We'll go into Faraz next on the Michael Potter situation.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one, but at the same time, like they obviously do need a coach. They want to take away all this drama situation stuff from the club. They want to focus on the games they've got coming up. So look, I don't think he'll be there next season. Even if the Bulldogs do improve, I think they're definitely looking outside of the market. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Gould steps into the head coach role, but I think they've got to look at Shane Flanagan. Definitely, they've got really no one else to look at really in the market for coaches. So yeah.
Yeah, well, Freddie Fittless came out during the week and said he's focused on the Blues. He's not interested in the Bulldogs job, so there goes him. And we'll go to Davos lastly. Michael Potter, do you think he's long-term or do you think he's just for now?
Yeah. I don't think that he'll be the long-term coach of the Bulldogs, but who knows? I mean, no one expected Todd Payton to do what he did at the Warriors, and he's now coach of the Queensland Cowboys and they're flying. So who knows? Maybe he does do what Todd Payton. But I personally think the Dogs should get Shane Flanagan. I think that, it'd be good for the Dogs with his son Kyle being there. Not only that, like he's a good coach, so I think he'd be good for the Doggies.
Yeah, 100%. Shane Flanagan, he's won a premiership as well, so he knows what it takes. We'll go on to the last question here. Team list on Tuesday came out, and for the Green Machine, the Raiders, Brad Schneider has been dropped for Jack White making his way back in, and Matt Frawley keeps the 7 jersey. Do you guys think this is fair, or do you believe it's unfair on how good Schneider has been? Do you think that it's just it was always going to happen, or I'll just get your takes on it. We'll start with Davos on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely very surprised to see Schneider dropped. I thought that he was brilliant last round against the Sharks. I think he was a big reason why they won. But yeah, it definitely shocked me. So I thought it was a little bit harsh on the kid.
Yeah, I think it was definitely harsh as well. I think the way they've treated Xavier Savage, I think that maybe he should even be dropped, to be honest, and keep Schneider as a 14. He has to be in there somewhere. He's just been too good this year for his first year. And we'll go to David next on the Brad Schneider situation.
Yeah, fair and unfair in my opinion, because I do believe they both deserve to be in the team somewhere, whether it's off the bench or in the starting 13. But overall, I think Frawley's been quite good, and as we said, Schneider's been great. So fair and unfair for me.
Yeah, and Matt Frawley also, I'd say he would be dropped as well, because Jamal Fogarty's still to come back yet from his knee injury, I believe. So they've still got a headache to come, but I mean, it's not a bad thing for Ricky Stewart. And we'll go to Noah next on Brad Schneider.
How the Raiders could be so dumb astounds me. I would have Schneider in my team over Frawley any day of the week. Frawley's been good for the past 2 weeks, and the other 20-something games he's played for the Raiders in his 10-year career, he's done nothing. So Schneider stays in for me, and when Fogarty gets back, Schneider gets the 14 role. That's all I can say. But no, Ricky Stewart, no. Yeah, just
and we'll go to Faraz next on his thoughts on because it's pretty clear Noah, he can't get his words into it, so we'll go to Faraz next on the Brad Schneider situation.
Oh, I want to laugh my head off on this too. Frawley, just because you play good against the Bulldogs doesn't warranty you that you deserve to be the number 7. Schneider's been outstanding. I think even look back into round 1 when the Rays were heavy outsiders, he turned it on as well. And this guy, he's only been there for 7 to 9 games maybe, not even. But yeah, he's still fairly inexperienced, and he showed way more signs than Frawley has. You can see in those games he's played how much improvement he has to that Raiders attack, how much structure they look. Frawley, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. I think they might be rewarding Frawley just because he's maybe more experienced, but and honestly, I do not rate Frawley one bit. I've said this before. He came from the Bulldogs, makes sense, but I feel for Brad. He's a young kid. On Sunday, he was phenomenal. I think he did more than Frawley did, and for him to lose a spot, I know one of them was going to lose it, but I feel if anyone was going to keep their spot, it should have been Brad. He's been a shining light for me, but yeah, I don't know what Ricky Stewart is doing there, but he's clearly taking the piss. Yeah, Noah, I want to laugh badly at this, but yeah, I feel for Brad. Unlucky.
100%. And I'll quickly add in here at the end. We'll go through fair or unfair quickly for each person. Tyrell Sloan has been dropped from fullback again. I feel for the kid. His confidence will be dropping slowly but surely. Hook is ruining his career, I should say. I think Tyrell Sloan leaves his contract early, and I think he's going somewhere else. I think Hook has just absolutely ruined this kid. We'll start with Faraz. Fair or unfair on Tyrell Sloan being dropped?
100% unfair. He has to come in tough conditions like that, and sometimes players go through a rough state. You got to look at Selwyn Cobbo. The first 2 weeks, he looked like he wasn't even made for first grade. And look at him now. He's one of the shining lights. He scored 7 tries in 5 games. yeah, you got to back your play sometimes. I think just dropping like that, making him feel harsh about that loss, making him feel like it was him who was behind it. So like, yeah, it's definitely going to hurt his confidence. I would be looking to like release him if I'm the Dragons, because that's not the way you treat a player like that. If I'm Sloan, I'll definitely be looking somewhere else. Just another way to go.
And they also said start of the year that they're going to breed all these brilliant youngsters, but they're not breeding youngsters if they're in the reserve grade. So Hook has, I think he's lost his marbles. We'll go to Noah next. Fair or unfair on Tyrell Sloan being dropped this week?
It's the exact same thing for Brad Schneider. I want to laugh at this. Hook needs to be sent to the sin bin or even sent off for fucking. Oh, I disagree with that call so much. Tyrell Sloan just needs to leave. Come to the Broncos. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, it seems the Broncos can't keep youngsters either. Reece Walsh is now a Warrior. We'll go to David next on the Tyrell Sloan being dropped.
Yeah, he's a young kid. I feel for the bloke. I'm going to go unfair. Obviously, he's a young kid. He's a quality player. Obviously, a young talent. And he needs time to grow. Obviously, it was pissing down in Brisbane last weekend. So I'm going to go unfair. I think he deserves to stay in the team.
Yeah, and people go off with all these youngsters about, they're not proving themselves, but they can't really prove themselves if they're in the reserve grade all week. We'll go to Davos next on fair or unfair on Tyrell Sloan being dropped.
Wow. Fuck me. This pisses me off so much. I honestly like Tyrell Sloan is one of the best youngsters in the comp, and the fact that Hook's just treating him like absolute crap and playing him reserve grade. And I believe that he is a first grader. He's not a reserve grader. Have you seen the speed on the kid? And his combination with Amon is not going to grow if he is playing reserve grade. It's simple as that. I'm sorry. I'm just pissed. Actually, it gets under my skin. But
It's all right.
it's definitely unfair.
Yeah, well, I believe Greg Eastwood could do a better job than Moses Mbye at fullback for St. George. But we won't get into that either. And that wraps us up here, episode 5, round 11 preview. It's going to be a huge round. And if you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at the Final Siren Podcast. The content keeps coming from us, and we'll see you for the review after round 11.